Martin Luther in the game of life. Andy Kaufman in the wrestling match. Monopoly 21, checkers and chess. Mr. Fred Lassie in a breakfast mess. Let's play Twister, let's play Risk. See you in heaven if you make the list. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis, baby? Are we losing touch? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, and nothing is cool. Moses went walking with the staff of wood. Newton got mean by the apple. Egypt was troubled by the horrible ass. Mr. Charles Darwin had the law. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis? Hey, baby, are you having fun? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, nothing is cool. Here's a little edge for the never believer. Yeah. Here's a little ghost for the offering. Yeah. Here's a truck stop instead of St. Peter's. Yeah. Mr. Andy Kaufman's gone wrestling. Yeah. Now, Andy, did you hear about this one? Tell me, are you locked in the punch? Andy, are you goofing on Elvis, baby? Are we losing touch? If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, nothing is cool. If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe there's nothing up their sleeve, nothing is cool. If you believe they put a man on the moon, man on the moon. If you believe.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Man, I need more coffee. I don't know how Tommy does it. He just sits there like a piece of furniture. Every day, he's just on the couch. He doesn't have to get up. He doesn't have to do anything. I get ready. I push live, and it's like, all right, I need to smoke 2 more bowls, get coffee, use the bathroom, and he just sits there like a stool. Sweet Tea, good morning. Good to see you. Adam, hello. Good morning. You're watching the show from yesterday. What did we even talk about yesterday? I don't remember. Probably the moon. But I hope you guys are doing good. Yeah, I thought that song was appropriate, right? Hold on one sec. All right, what is today? April 2nd. Finally, April Fool's Day is over. Perfect day to launch to the moon on April Fool's Day. Let me close this out. All right, Joe Della. Hello. Good morning. Let me get off of this real quick. Excuse me. Just got to get through today and then spring break for me. Oh, nice. So you have Friday off. That's cool. Hopefully the weather's good. Launch to the moon on April Fool's Day. Yes, what a joke. Yep, can't make this stuff up. I mean, I don't even know where to go with it. It's all bullshit, guys. I mean, we just have to at some point in our life before we pass away, we just have to be honest. You know, we've been lied to, and we're continuing to be lied to, and it's never going to stop. You know, we're just going to have to just call the bullshit out, because they're just going to continue to lie about everything and treat us like infants, treat us like children. It is just asinine. But we'll look at it. We're going to the moon. Yes, a horse and pony show. For sure. You know, the thing is, it's like, what is the point? Right? What is the point of going to the moon? Like, is there something that we're going to do there? Weather is good, hot, high 80s. AC is not working in our building. Ugh, that sucks. We've been lied to since time immemorial. You're right about that, Joe. You know, the world was on the edge of its seats when they went to the moon the first time. You know, it was everything back then. Now, nobody cares. Nobody cares, and it really is just a joke. I mean, you have influencers, you know, like social media influencers that are down there for the launch. It's not anything official, you know what I mean? It is really just a dog and pony show. It's pretty insane. Trump gave a speech last night. You want to talk about propaganda and it is, you could use that as the poster for his presidency. Sum it up in just that right there. Just one big bag of shit. One big, ugly, old, wrinkled, child raping, pedophile, thief, lying sack of just pathetic shit that Donald Trump is, the guy that I voted for. Just a lying motherfucker. I fucking hate that guy with everything that I have. I hate that fucking motherfucker. I still wouldn't vote Democrat, but it's hard. You'd be hard pressed to find a bigger piece of shit than Donald Trump, in my opinion. He is just a fucking lying asshole. You mean the time we thought they went to the moon? I don't think they ever made it. Was a hoax, just my opinion. Yeah, you know, yesterday, Adam, we played a video of the interview of Neil Armstrong and I think it was Alan Shepard and Buzz. I'm not exactly sure. I know it was Buzz and Neil Armstrong. But it's the interview when they come back from the moon, and it is the most weirdest, awkwardest, just, I don't know if you've ever seen it. Let me go to it. Just play a quick little snippet of it. Oh, it was on YouTube. Never mind. I had it on YouTube. We'll skip it. But when Trump was giving his speech yesterday and telling us how great he is and that we're winning the war, and, you know, basically what he said as far as the gas prices and all that is no one cares because his rich friends are making a killing in the stock market that him and his sons are manipulating. So it is what it is. Erica Kirk was there. She's with her handler, Stacy Sheridan, I believe is her name, the lady on the right. Evil personified. These guys are always calling other people evil for, you know, trying to figure out who actually killed Charlie Kirk and not the patsy that these guys put in front of us. But just wannabe evangelical frauds that are grifting off of Charlie Kirk's name. You know, the two biggest whores in the United States, Janice Rossi and Erica Kirk. We'll move on. 37 U.S. troops were just killed in the United Arab Emirates. And it's only going to get worse. Let me see if we have an accurate count. How many U.S. troops killed in Iran conflict so far? 13 killed, 300 plus injured, and that is not accurate because there's a lot more than that killed. So they're lying to us any which way we spin it. This guy, you know, he's about as believable as Neil Tyson deGrasse. And the guy interviewing him, Jesse Waters, has less than zero credibility. Nobody should listen to that guy. You know, nobody should be watching Fox News anyways, or CNN or any of that garbage. But Jesse Waters has zero credibility. He'll sit there across from Erica Kirk and just fucking, you know, these guys are just complete fraudsters. They're part of the government. You know, they're not newscasters. They're just deep state actors. But anyway, let's listen to what it's like to go to the moon.
Jesse, first of all, thank you for having me on your show. And I can tell you there are no words to adequately describe what it feels like to blast off into space. I will just give you a couple of real quick stats. You pass 100 miles per hour before you clear the tower. You pass Mach 1, the speed of sound, in roughly 45 or 50 seconds, and then you just go faster and faster and faster and faster. It never stops accelerating until you reach orbit. This is really cute here. My first flight in the shuttle, we launched at night. But about halfway through the ascent, I could look out of the front windows and see the day half of the Earth coming. So it really is an incredible ride, unlike anything you can imagine here on Earth.
So that's crazy. What are you eating the whole time?
I'm sorry?
How do you eat? And they say you have to add water to dehydrated, like, what, powder?
Yeah, you do. Yeah, a lot of the food is dehydrated. Some of it is thermostabilized. Some of it is similar to military meals ready to eat. You just sort of heat and eat. But the stuff that is dehydrated, you have to reinsert the water. Now, you can't pour water in space because it floats all over the place. So the food is contained in a packet. You insert a syringe from the rehydration station, and the machine will inject the right amount of water. Then the food will swell and look and begin to taste like what it's supposed to be. It's not great food, but it's a whole lot better than the old toothpaste tube stuff they used back during the Apollo days. Absolutely.
Do you think these four people are going to get along?
Oh yeah, I tell you what. One of the requirements of being an astronaut, and I think NASA does a pretty good job of screening people, is you have to be able to get along with your buddies because you're in cramped quarters. You can't get angry and go out for a walk or go storm off someplace. No, in all seriousness, though, they'll get along really well.
Good.
They have been training together, and that's when I say training, I mean actually working together and spending time together over the past 2 years or so. So you really get to know each other. You break down barriers. You know.
Yeah. Where's Elon Musk? Isn't Elon Musk, shouldn't he be involved in this? Have you heard him say one word about this? Mr. Oh, we're going to Mars. We're going to expand mankind off into a different planet. Why is he not involved in the moon thing? You know, he's on video saying that we got bored on the moon. You know, that playing golf on the moon was our jump the shark moment. You know, the Happy Days reference. Why isn't he involved in this? Why do we have... I don't know. Sweet cheese. Let's see here. What I sent you a video of an interview from that guy that worked for TPUSA. And he actually said Kabuki Theater. Is this what you sent to me yesterday? Let me see. My phone's acting up. I remember you sending me a video, and I watched a little bit of it. Here we go. Let me see. Let me see which one it is. Oh no, I didn't. Maybe I didn't even see this one. All right, I'll check it out. Yeah, that's cool. Right on. It was during the Cold War and prestigious then, right? Your dad believed it then, but not now. I think that's a lot of people, you know. Gas prices are higher, only temporary. I don't know about all that. Maybe. Well, what happened to... Let me see here.
Lower income people of about $2,000, and we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing. So we're doing a lot of good work. And the numbers were reported so incorrectly. The real numbers are trillions of dollars have been taken in or gotten in terms of investment from the tariffs. And so if that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem for our country. And nobody thinks it's going to be reversed. I think we had a very good court case. As you know, it's before the Supreme Court right now. But
so, you know, neither here nor there with the $2,000, which he could send us. But what happened to the trillions of dollars we're taking in? You know, you guys steal that money too? Is that what the government did? Just steal that money too? You know, I thought we were taking in trillions of dollars. We have so much. The video I was trying to find is where he goes. The reason why we're even talking about these rebate checks is because of how much money we're taking in. That's what he said on stage. And it is a stage. It is Kabuki Theater. I may be talking silly, but I truly believe if you want prices to go down, stop using the product. I believe if everyone stopped using gas for one whole week, gas would be $60 a gallon again. No, it would be, Adam. Well, you know, it's not just at the gas pumps. It's more about agriculture and, you know, things like that. the industrial part of society. But no, you are right. Boycotting is powerful, and many people have died for boycotting, But you're, 100%. It's happened to me over Trump, actually, where people, didn't like the fact that I supported Trump. And, not only do they not want to support your business, they want to ruin you. They want to ruin your life. That's where we're at in this world today. It's crazy. But yeah, no, 100%. I understand what you're saying. Collectively, if we all, work together to control the prices and stuff like that, Dr. Stephen Greer, if you guys don't know who he is, he's the CSETI and Disclosure Project, former ER doctor, advisor to the presidents of UFOs and, extraterrestrial phenomenon. He's talking with Michael Franchese about aliens that they have in storage. And yesterday we were talking about how they're using people that they have aliens in captivity. This is what the government is telling us now. They have aliens in captivity, and they've taken people that they've captured from war and migrant vans, and they forced them to have sex with the aliens. And now they have they have had for a long time these hybrid alien human breeding programs where they're having hybrid species. They've already written new laws. Alex Jones talked about this years ago, about how you have human rights and you have animal rights. And then there's a gray area, alien hybrid rights that they're developing. It's all very strange. Anyway.
I've got a dissection of an ET on a slab from 1920s that we have in our archive. You can go look at it. We have photographs of the bodies. We have multiple people on my team that are whistleblowers that are on the retrieval teams that have retrieved the bodies and handled them alive and dead. So yes, absolutely. So we know that there are, I don't know, by now over 1,000 extraterrestrial vehicles have been shot down and retrieved, and the bodies are in storage. We know where that is. So no, this is no doubt. The problem is the public, and until I went into the SCIF, the Secure Compartment Information Facility, that's where top secret information is exchanged for the Senate Intelligence Committee. No one on the Senate Intelligence Committee or their senior staff, one of whom I met with would be like a 3-star general if he'd still been in the military. They didn't even know we had ours, and they didn't know there was a difference between an ET, alien craft, and a man-made one. They didn't know that where these underground bases were, and that there were connector systems between the Edwards complex and the Nellis Air Force Base complex and the Dugway proving grounds up in Utah. Now we've mapped all that out for them now, but this has been a very steep, I call it disclosure PTSD. And you can only imagine a guy like me walks in and hands this sort of stuff off and the proof of it. And then they send investigators out.
Love this comment right here, Adam. And I 100% agree with you. And the only reason why I would play this garbage is because of the timing and the amount of information that they're starting to slowly leak about this. And I have a prediction, but I do agree with you that, if there's anything that's more unbelievable than the moon landing from the 60s, it would be aliens, right? I mean, although, I've told this story before, I don't know if it's a ghost or a spirit or whatever, but I know for a fact that there is something like that here on Earth because it happened to me. inside of a pizza joint back in 2009, where it scared the fucking shit out of me. I was the closing manager of a pizza place, and long story short, I was the only one in that place, and I don't know what it was, but it had a black cape. I seen it out of my peripheral. It was dark in there, and the next thing I know, it was behind me. And at that point, I couldn't see it, but it was shaking the podium. I'm not going to tell the whole story because I'm just going to end up fucking scaring the shit out of myself, and it's not even 3:00 in the morning here. So I do believe in stuff like that. But, is there anything more unbelievable than aliens, right? But having said that, and if you guys didn't see, well, I think I actually have it bookmarked. We actually have government officials saying this stuff. Now, Stephen Greer, he's got to be more, like if you had to have a line, is he more believable or unbelievable? I would say most people would say he's more on the unbelievable side, although he's been around for decades, been on Alex Jones for decades, very well known dude. People will go out into the desert with this guy, and they see like these crafts. It's just, it's all very unbelievable. I totally agree with you guys. You have a great memory, especially about dates and years. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. I do kind of have that's one of my, I guess, my talents is a memory. And then I took a class one time, a course called Mega Memory, which doesn't have anything to do with this memory. But if you want to like actually set out to memorize things, I could teach you guys a whole class on how to, like, for example, if you wanted to go to the grocery store, we could list 20 different things that you wanted to get from the grocery store, and you could remember all of those things without needing a piece of paper. Today with like your phone and stuff like that, it kind of makes it obsolete, but I still use this system. In fact, I just did it on my buddy not too long ago, and it was by a guy by the name of Kevin Trudeau, who kind of I think he ended up going to jail, was kind of a fraudster. But I took his class back in I think when I was 17. I made my dad buy it for me. I seen it on an infomercial, and it really works. In fact, I used it, and I got an A in my psychology class in high school, my senior year in high school. I don't know if you know anything about a pegging system. Like number 1 is tree because it looks like the number 1. Number 2 is light switch because it goes up, down, on, off, light, dark. Number 3 is a stool because it has 3 legs. Number 4 is a car because 4 wheels, 4 doors, that type of thing. So then, for example, when you want to remember something, you don't remember the word. You remember an image. If somebody says remember an elephant, you don't remember the letters to, you don't remember the word elephant. You picture an elephant. So the key to remembering something is to bring it as much description as possible to it. So if you were going to say, let's say it was milk. Say the first thing that we wanted to remember was milk. Okay. And you already have a pre-memorized list that I started to give you. Number 1 was tree, 2 was light switch, 3 was stool, 4 was car. So number 1 is tree because it looks like the number 1. Now what we want to remember is milk. So we're going to attach the milk to the tree, and you want to do it with the most colorful, vivid description that you can come up with using even smell. And so I picture a whole bunch of cartons of milk hanging from a tree like a merry-go-round, like a swing at the fair. And they're going around, and the milk is sour, and it's a hot day, and the milk is coming down on top of me because I'm underneath the tree, and I just smell like disgusting sour milk. That's number 1. So when I get to the store, I'm going to think to myself, okay, what's the first thing I need? Well, number 1 is tree. So what? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, milk, and then you go through that in your head. You can do that with the list of 20 things, the pre-memorize 20 things. You can do that using things in your house, because people have, you can visualize like your living room. Okay, here's my couch. I have a little end table. There's a bookshelf. There's a TV, yada, yada, yada. Same thing. It's a whole system. It's very, very useful for certain things. And I use that constantly, but it doesn't have anything to do with the ability to recall. You don't ever forget anything. Nobody ever forgets anything. It's just the ability to be able to recall the information. So if you're like, dang, I don't remember, I don't know the answer, I can't, and then someone's like, well, the answer's 33. Like, oh yeah, that's right. Or then you remember, but you just could not recall the information. It's what the fuck am I talking about? Gen X, good morning, good to see you. Hope you're all doing well. But yeah, so we have the moon launch on April Fool's Day, and then we have all of these people that are either in or around the government talking about aliens and humans having sex with each other. So you can't make it up. I'm in the same boat as you guys are. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And this is still pretty much under the radar. This isn't like all 100% mainstream. But one of the videos I played yesterday was Matt Gaetz, who was going to be the Attorney General before Pam Bondi. And he's talking about how high-level military officials, not just him. In fact, let me see. I think I have a video of Anna Paulina Luna. Let me skip ahead a little bit here. Here we go. So this is Representative Anna Paulina Luna, and she's saying her and Matt Gaetz and somebody else, Tim Burchett, which I have a video of him, Senator Burchett, or Representative Burchett, whoever he is.
Being a member of oversight, we follow up with whistleblowers, and we also can conduct our own investigation. So myself, Representative Burchett from Tennessee, and Representative Gaetz were on a small codel to the Panhandle because a whistleblower came forward from Eglin Air Force Base pilots to Representative Gaetz' office saying that the Air Force was essentially covering up UAP activity and we needed to look into it. So we coordinated the meeting. Pentagon tried to initially cancel the first one. We got it back on the books. We show up there and we get in, and the base commander tried to basically tell us that we didn't have authorized clearance to look into and speak to some of the witnesses, of which you don't tell Congress that we don't have the authorized clearance, especially members of House Armed Services, Oversight, and Judiciary. So I kind of had it out with the base commander, which is kind of funny because this guy really thought that he had it going on. And he actually, in the middle of our meeting, he took off on leave, which never happens with a delegation going to military base. But then also too, we had pretty sure people from the agency that were there as well. And so you really don't find that. I've worked at Hurlburt Field. I worked in the military for a number of years. And so why would a intelligence agency need to be there on a meeting for whistleblowers? So that happened. I can tell you, based on my investigations, not in a classified setting, that I absolutely believe that there is things that are advanced technologies not of human origin. And then we conducted the interview with David Grush. As you saw, it was one of the most widely attended congressional hearings in U.S. history. The information that was brought forward was particularly alarming because you're hearing about people that have potentially been murdered and covering up this information. And it was very interesting. So I advise everyone to watch it.
Yeah. Was it, so based off of it, and have you received?
That video is a little neither here nor there. I'm going to play you guys the Matt Gaetz video in a second. Sweet tea, 5 through 20. So 5 is glove because it has 5 fingers. 6 is, dang, I'm drawing a blank. Give me a sec. Oh, 6 is gun. 6 shooter, 6 feet under. 7 is dice. 8 is skate. 9 is cat, 9 lives. 10 is bowling ball, 10 pins. 11 is a goalpost because it looks like the number 11. 12 is eggs because of a dozen eggs. 13 is witch because of Friday the 13th. 14 is ring, 14 karat. 15 is paycheck, get paid on the 15th of the month. 16th is magazine. No, 16th is candy because 1 ounce of candy. 17 is magazine. It's been a long time since I did this. 17 is magazine because of 17 Teen Beat magazine. 18 is voting booths, because you have to be 18 to vote. 19th is golf club for the 19th hole, and 20 is cigarettes, a pack of cigarettes, because there's 20 cigarettes in a pack. So you take all those, you just have those all memorized, and then, boom, 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 boom. Like if the 20th thing you want to remember is, say, chocolate chip cookies, you attach that to cigarettes. However you're going to do that. I don't know exactly. You're walking into a room that you cannot breathe because it's just filled with smoke, and there's some old lady with ashes on her shoulders eating cookies, and there's just going all over the floor. I don't know, just on the spot. But you do that, and you can remember that list tomorrow, the next day. It works. Kevin Trudeau mega memory. I wonder if that's on the internet still. There's Kevin Trudeau. Yeah. That's funny. Hold on. Mega Memory by Kevin Trudeau is a self-help book and program that teaches memory improvement techniques, claiming to unlock a superpower memory in as little as 30 minutes a day. And it does. It 100% works. The system uses a picture-based method, avoiding traditional word association, to help users instantly recall names, numbers, facts, and more with techniques like memory palaces and the peg word method. It's available in various formats. You know what? I think I'm going to try to order this again. I'd like to just have it. Because there was a lot of things. There was a whole thing on remembering people's names and stuff like that, but I never got into that. Yeah, badass. It worked for me like a charm. My dad couldn't believe it because I was all about the power. They call it the power of the half hour, the infomercials way back in the day. That's all I did was watch TV. I hounded him. I was like, Dad, I got to have that. The mega memory. Kevin Trudeau's mega memory. It was a bunch of cassette tapes. And he was blown away. And I used it to get an A in my psychology class in my senior year in high school. Anyway, let's move on. What do we got? Oh, yeah. So let me just play the little Matt Gaetz interview. Now, remember, these are people in the government. This is the guy that Anna Paulina was just talking about. Oops. How come it didn't come up? It's aliens. Dun, 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 dun.
I think the most important information will be the biological.
So this was yesterday. That I don't know when they had this conversation. It was just very recently. The guy talking on the right over here, Matt Gaetz, he's a former Tennessee representative of Congress, stepped down because he was going to be attorney general. And now he runs, he's the main guy on X for One American News. He's basically like a news show on X, on Twitter.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered. And like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating. What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group, members of Congress, to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time. And so that never occurred.
What do you mean?
And so that never occurred. Oh, wait, hold on.
Non-human biologics, like this.
Well, that was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight Committee,
Yeah.
which I joined, and the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for crash recovery, that it wasn't just the hard materials, it was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics.
Yes, indeed. If we're going to buy this stuff, we deserve what we get. The Brooklyn Bridge, swampland in Florida, plenty of sand in the desert for sale. Humans having sex with aliens, return of the Nephilim. Yes. Well, this is my prediction, because there is a perfect storm. It's a perfect storm for their fake alien invasion, or this is what I think is going to happen. Artemis 2 launched on April Fools. In a couple weeks, we have April 20th coming up. And I always refer to that week as terrorist attack week, because from April 15th to April 20th, you have everything from the Virginia Tech shooting to the Oklahoma City bombing, Boston Marathon bombing, Columbine shooting, Waco, Texas, Deepwater Horizon, Queen Elizabeth's birthday, Hitler's birthday. The list goes on. That is literally fucking game time week. So this is what I think is going to happen. And we have the war with Iran, where they're just shooting hypersonic missiles everywhere. They just killed a bunch of fucking troops in the UAE. Something's going to happen to that shuttle, to that rocket, to those astronauts. They're going to go around the moon, because they say it's a 10-day trip. I don't know. It's probably going to take 3 or 4 or 5 days. And once they wrap around the moon, they're going to lose communication with them. This is just my fucking crazy brain conspiracy theory. They're going to lose communication with them, and then they're going to mysteriously come back right around terrorist attack week. And it's just going to be another one of those things we're going to chalk up because when these things happen, you don't even realize it till after the fact. And they're going to tell us some fucking story or something. Some fucking tomfoolery, kabuki theater bullshit is going to happen on this Looney Tunes wrap around the moon. I know it. They get to the dark side of the moon, and Pink Floyd's going to be there. Roger Waters is going to be there. Is that his name? Is with a fucking guitar in his hand. It's going to be Gary Wright, fucking Dreamweaver. That's a good song too. I think I played that one yesterday. Some fucking bullshit's going to happen. I think the song's appropriate for a second, since we're talking about all this weird shit. No, this song's actually about suicide. But it makes for a good, like, you know, space theme.
Close my eyes again. Climbed aboard the Dreamweaver train. Trying to take away my worries of today and leave tomorrow behind. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Fly me high through the starry skies, baby, to an astral plane. Cross the highways of fantasy. Help me to forget today's pain. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Though the dawn may be coming soon, there still may be some time. Fly me away to the bright side of the moon. Meet me on the other side.
Yep, meet me on the other side. That's where they're going to be at, waiting for those 4 astronauts. What are the names of the astronauts, anyways? Do we even know? Do we even care? I mean, I think everybody on, you know, planet Earth, at least, you know, 80s, 90s. I don't know about now. People are fucking just retarded now, but everybody knew who Neil Armstrong was and Buzz Aldrin and Alan Shepard and those guys, right? And there's a couple more. John Glenn. Remember John Glenn? Godspeed. Didn't he go on a moon mission or some space mission like later on in life? And everybody was like, oh yes, Godspeed, John Glenn. You know. I don't want to cause a ruckus this morning, but how do we know what we call God is not an alien? I hope that's okay to ask. Oh, anything's okay to ask, Adam. I mean, it's a, you know, there's religion, and, you know, people have faith and people have their beliefs, and everybody's entitled to their own opinion. And I mean, in a nutshell, we don't know. We don't. No one does. And if they say they do, they're lying, you know? And it's 100% okay for people to have faith and have their beliefs. And I think that no one deserves to have their faith or beliefs stepped on, but that they should not shove their faith or beliefs down other people's throat. But you're right. We don't know. And in fact, there's, you know, if you listen to the technocratical oligarch that is our government and the people that run it, you know, they're trying to create an AI god, which sounds crazy, but if you go down that rabbit hole, it's true. You know, I mean, and there's just so many things going on to unpack when it comes to that topic right there. Yeah. We don't even know, like me personally, like I was saying this yesterday, we don't even know what space is. I don't believe anything they tell us about space to be true. So it's impossible for me to believe this moon mission. The question is, well, I mean, there is a truth, right? we can believe everything we want. We can argue and whatever. Everything is false, but there is a truth. I mean, there is a reality like this. You know what I mean? We can speculate all we want, which is a fascinating thing to just even think about in itself. You know, it's wild. But, you know, the question right now, I guess, is, you know, for me, is like, why would they lie to us? Like, what is, you know, I can understand lying to us about things, but why even fake going to the moon or wrapping around the moon? Like, what is the point of this? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Mossada, too long to text an alien tells a human that Jesus visits their planet every year. The human says, really, we've been waiting for Jesus to return forever. The alien explains how every year. You want to come up on the panel for a minute, Adam, and it'd be easier to talk if you want. You're more than welcome to. When Jesus comes, we celebrate him, we talk with him, and the alien asks, what do you do for him? The human says, we killed him. Right. And the stories of the aliens go back a long time. It's all very fascinating, but I'm with you guys as far as like, it's not even a debate about whether or not we believe this stuff to be true throughout history. I think what we're all saying is we don't believe these clowns in our government right now telling us anything. So when they're coming out and saying, oh, yeah, well, we were visited by the military and they told us that there's aliens and humans in a secret breeding program. Yeah, right. Well, we're going to the moon and we've got some prominent YouTube influencers down here, you know, recording. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. I think that's what we're all saying. We just don't believe anything these fuckers are saying. You know, it's not that we don't believe everything that, you know, it's just this particular group of people are just, I mean, just deplorables. The Anunnaki, yes. Weren't those like they were like the tall people, right? Are those the people from the book of Enoch in the Bible is about aliens, right? Oh, there's Adam. Hey, Adam. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, bud. I texted, but I just wanted to say, you know, I'm not much for these panels, but maybe saying it would be better. An alien spoke to a human, and the human says, you know, we've been waiting for Jesus to come back for his resurrection forever. And the human says, the alien says, really, we get Jesus to come to God to come to our planet. Of course, I'm going to mess it up, but we get God to come to our planet every year. He visits us. He says, well, how does that happen? Why does he come to you? Well, we celebrate God every time he comes to us. We give him food. We talk with him. We ask him questions. What did you guys do when he first came? And the human pauses for a second and he says, we killed him. Crazy, man. I held that for that whole day when I heard that. That was wonderful.
Yeah, and it's true, you know, and that speaks to like everybody's soul. Like if you know what to look for in that, because right?
I don't know if you ever seen my little 30-minute things of motivation, but when I do that, those are the little mimes that I hear it from. Those little shorts.
Yeah, no, I love that. No, and I do watch them. I see all. I don't know if I see all your stuff, but I follow you. I see most of your stuff. I see your magic tricks. The one that got me, because I do figure out some of them, and I'm not gonna lie, some of them I'll even like research. I'll like, how does he even do that one? And I'll try to, you know, I'll eat. But the one I didn't look it up that you got me good on is the dollar bill in the card. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I had to turn it off. I'm like, I'm pissed off now. Because I don't know how he did that one. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I'm forgetting. The dollar.
It's the one where you fold the dollar bill in half, like the long way, and then you have the card and you're sliding it through the middle.
I'm sliding it through. There's
Yeah.
no one else. Yeah, it's a card behind that. Is it okay if I tell you?
Yeah, for sure.
Behind that full card is a cut card. It's cut in half, and it gives the illusion that it's pushing through the dollar. You only see the full card. The other half of the card is behind that, and you're seeing the other half of that card on top of
it. You got me good there. Now I knew it was something like that, but
yeah, and that half cut of the card is hitting the inside of the dollar, and that's what's making it look like it's
right.
sliding. You just
Wow.
got me. Yeah,
that's a good one, man.
And real short on that, I know you're talking about something else, but I worked for a selling Christmas trees starting at 11 years old. A guy that did magic tricks. I didn't know he did magic tricks. He also had a Pepsi route. He would come and do this once a year, sell the Christmas trees. I show him the most stupidest magic trick. And he says, "How'd you do it?" I said, "I ain't telling you. I can't let you know." He knew how it was done. The next year, he shows me a few tricks. The next year, I worked for him selling Christmas trees for 9 years until I was about 18 years old. And he tells me he can't do it no more. He has no children, and he was a great magician. And he says, "I wanted to move it on to someone that can do it and won't give it away." And he showed me so many magic tricks throughout that 9 years or 10 years that I worked there. And I held that with me. And I've always done it at bars and whatnot. And to see a big man that's bigger than you turn into a little boy and ask you how you did it, a tough guy, that's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's way cool. Yeah, no, magic is I've always been a fan of magic. I remember getting magic trick sets when I was a kid. I always wanted them. Would love to go to magic stores. One of my favorite things to do.
Boy, you don't got my magic stores anymore. You can't get the magic stores anymore. You can't walk into a magic store, I don't think, anymore.
Maybe Vegas. I think they maybe still have a couple. That was like when I was adult, I was like taken back because you're right. As a kid, there was a few in town. Now you don't see them, but in Vegas, I walked into Vegas one time with my buddy Brian, and we were looking at some stuff on the wall, and the guy goes, "If you buy that, I'll show you how it's done."
Of course, yeah, always, yeah.
And I said, "Okay." And so it was a levitation trick. And so he's like, "You got $1?" I take out $1 and he makes it levitate in his hand right in front of us.
Yep.
And I was like sold.
And that was the string and the wax. The string and the wax, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And so within about an hour or two of practice, we had a bunch of people in Vegas that time, and some people knocked on our hotel room to come in, and I was levitating a card in between my hands. It was spinning, and they walked in. I go, "Welcome to Vegas," and they were like, "What the fuck?" It was
boom. As soon as you don't let that look mechanical, the hardest thing is that it looks mechanical. Once you get past that with the card floating or the dollar bill floating, you're golden. It's hard to make it not look fake, right?
Right.
And you took to it good then, okay?
Yeah, and then outside of the MGM one time, they had a magic shop, and there was a magician that it was the same one, but this is before I bought the trick, so I never knew how this guy did it. But then once I bought it, I thought back, I was like, that's what he did. He had a card, and he was just a playing card, and he was like throwing it like a boomerang and catching it in the other hand right in front of me. I'm
insane.
Like, yeah, but I think it was the string was attached to the ceiling maybe or something, or I don't know exactly how.
Yeah, they do it different ways to the forehead. But once you find it out, it's such a disappointment, isn't it? Once you find out how it was done.
Yeah, it is. Well, that one was it was cool because I could fool myself even. And I watched that trick and I know how it's done from certain people, and they're so good. I still don't understand the mechanics of how they're making it float. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People are that good. So, Let me catch up on the comments real quick.
Well, I gotta start getting. I'm
You gotta go.
holding my own life behind because I'm enjoying listening to you so much. But I gotta get going. Also, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get.
Well,
ready.
thank you for coming up. I appreciate it.
I'm one of those guys that take a full hour to get ready in the morning.
I understand. Yeah.
All right, Mossada. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks for coming up.
Bye bye.
All right, let me get back up here. AOV, good morning. Good to see you. Gen X says the ones from the planet Nibiru. Yes, and they also call that like Planet X, which is funny that
I can't get out. You got to just put me out.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me kick him out. There you go. You're kicked out. Thanks for coming up, Adam. They predate the Sumerians and Assyrians. They mix their DNA with something that already existed here. Monkeys, apes. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy thoughts. The biblical theory of the fallen angels, sex with humans, Nephilim, the giants. Yeah, so it is pretty much along those lines of that story. Adam, are your tricks as good in person as they are in film, or does the film make it look more mysterious? So I guess I should have read that when he was still on stage. Hope you're doing good, AOV. Yeah, that's crazy, Gen X, and it's AOV, if you missed what we were talking about. We have people in our government. I don't know. You were here yesterday, I think, that are talking about whistleblowers coming forward saying we have alien human breeding programs. Humans that they capture from war and migrant vans are being forced to have sex with aliens, apparently. Let me get back to my videos here. Still got a few minutes. All right. So we did Stephen Greer. Alex Jones finally, after, people like me had to tell him to go fuck his mother about 20 times, finally pivoted back. We course corrected him, We course corrected him, and he's going to start calling Trump out like he needs to.
I am sick to my stomach and horrified at the change in Trump and just wounded and sad and upset because I have been so satisfied and so proud of what Trump's been through and what he's done and how far we came together. And it was a pleasure to stand with him and be persecuted right alongside him. And I still respect Trump for all that. And I still believe he is at heart a good man. But whether it's mental exhaustion or whatever it is or who's around him, he's making more and more big mistakes.
Yes, he is. And we don't need to get into the whole thing, but yes, this is huge. When when Charlie Kirk was assassinated or murdered, Kash Patel tweeted fake news about capturing a shooter. And a lot of people don't realize that. And that, has implications with like the state police. It called off, the searches for the real shooter. And now here we are with some fake patsy. So
almost forget, but it was after Zachariah was detained that Kash Patel rather gloriously issued a tweet which effectively ended the manhunt prematurely. In many ways, we should start to think of Zachariah Qureshi as decoy boy number 2. Okay, first it was George Zinn, jumped up and down immediately and said, I did it. He would later tell people at Utah Valley, where he was being treated, that he was paid to do that. Wonder if the FBI is interested in that tidbit that I have said on the show. And I'm telling you that's what happened. That was the first time that the responding police officers who said they felt like they were intentionally being sent all around were sent essentially off of the trail of the true assassin. But next came the public declaration from our director of the FBI, which held a lot more weight, claiming officially that they had the guy. He wrote this at 4:21 p.m. Mountain Standard, so almost exactly 4 hours to the minute that Charlie was shot, Kash Patel authored this tweet. The subject for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk is now in custody. Thank you to the local and state authorities in Utah for your partnership with the FBI. We will provide updates when able. Okay. Well, you imagine if you are a responding police officer and you see that the director of FBI has tweeted that, you just stop looking. Anything that looks shady, you don't care. Doesn't matter. I guess it's over. We got him. Great news. And that's how it stayed for an hour and a half. Kash Patel's mistake provided the true assassin or the assassins an hour and a half buffer to get away. Police wrapping up. No reason to continue looking, right? Until finally at 5:59 p.m., he clarified, he announced on X that, oh, never mind. Here's what he said.
So that's crazy. Her views slightly changed. I think I don't have the patience for her, for Candace. Oh, she's the most important person of the 21st century. Adam, Candace Owens. Between her and Barry Coleman, who's an attorney, he practiced law in 3 states for 20 years, quit his job, and now he's taken on the Charlie Kirk case full time. They're tearing this case up. They're single-handedly changing the course of history. It is amazing. ALB, you should. I would love for you to watch. I hate when people say that you should watch this, but I would love for you to check out Baron Coleman one of these days if you have time. You know, I think that you would find him really interesting. You know, because he's the original high IQ outfit. That's where I got that term from. And you know, as a 20-year lawyer, and him dissecting this case, and you know, being pretty, pretty straight up as far as I can tell. It's interesting podcast. I said from the beginning that Patel was so desperate to show that they got the guy that he screwed up. I don't think he is part of any conspiracy. I think it was an error. Yeah. And, you know, this is the thing, Adam, and, you know, this pertains to you too. It's like, and it's what we were talking about earlier about the moon and stuff like that. It's like, I think we agree on a lot of stuff. We all kind of say the same thing, but nobody can ever agree on everything. You know what I mean? Like AOV, this thing here, I agree with part of it on it, and I don't agree on the last part because I think he is part of a conspiracy. And then, you know, it's like Adam with his views on Candace. It's like, you know, we all pretty much have the same views, but nobody can ever agree on everything. And then at some point, it went from being able to just debate and have friendly disagreements, agree to disagree, to, oh, you disagree with me? Okay, where do you work at? Because I'm going to call your boss and get you fired. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to see if we can boycott your business. Okay? I'm going to break into your house and steal your money. How about that? I'll steal your dog on the way out the door. How about that? That's kind of what it turned into, you know. Pretty unfortunate, but yeah, so. And, you know, Kash Patel was like, oh, we got him in under 36 hours. 33 hours to be precise. There's always that Masonic number 33. This says that, what do you call them? Shopping carts are slowly replacing cashiers. So we go from self-checkouts to now the shopping carts themselves are how you check out.
Yeah, I see the new technology is out, right? Yeah, I see the shit.
You know what I don't like is when this is what society's, y'all see this new check, now y'all see this shit. Why can't we just have, you know, like, where's the corporate, you know, PR guy that's going to explain how these work? Why do we get Derek Davis 726? Y'all see this shit? Y'all see this new shit? What happened to just like regular, you know, where's the jingle and shopping cart, you know, music? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I see the new technology is out, right? Yeah, I see the shit. So you now shopping and shit. You can
Shopping
I
and
think
shit.
it's the one where you ring up your own shit, like
Your own
and
shit.
you put it in the cart. See, look at this shit. What that's
Look at this shit.
You
Shit,
see
shit,
what
shit,
shit say?
shit,
It say
shit, shit,
start
shit, shit.
shopping. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I think, right? This gonna put the motherfucking cashiers. No more. You ain't gonna need no cashiers. If you could just pay for your shit like this, continuous guess. Let's see what happened. First time using new card.
Your camera work sucks. Bro, I'm about to turn your video off.
Yeah, got me. Let's see what they talking about. Add product. Face it. Yeah, you scan the shit as you put it in the cart. Place it in the cart. Don't hold item. Just put it in there.
This guy's not very good at the old those are the leftists that do that. Let's call a spade a spade. Normal people don't do those things. I got to start getting ready. Then I can pause a little bit in between getting ready and catch a little bit of Tommy this morning. Yeah, Tommy don't show up. We're not watching Tommy this morning. If you know, he's got so much ALV. He's got massive workloads now. Things are changing with Tommy. He's got so many meetings. He has just spread himself thin. He's like a piece of paper right now, that guy. I mean, the phone calls that must be coming in, the piles of paperwork, all the meetings, you know, the networking he must be doing. My Lord, no wonder we don't get blessed with his presence anymore. I got to start getting ready. Oh, we did that one. Dumbing down of America. Everyone sounds like they're from the gutter. Yes. I can't stand, on Facebook, people put WAT for what? What is you doing? Everybody be talking like, it's just full grown adults that just sound like children, or they sound like they want to be like a gangster, He can't even focus that video right. What a waste of time. I agree. Yep. ALV agree. We're so anxious to tell the world that we got him. Meetings, right? See no evil. Hello. Good morning, sir. How are you? Good to see you. Suzanne, hello. Good morning. Good to see you. I can't believe it's a replay. Oh, it's live. This what we're doing now? Yeah, we're live. We're live. Hope you guys are doing well. We're on the way to the moon right now. Just engines ablazing.
Forget.
What else do we got here? Let's listen to a little bit of JP Spears. I don't know. He was on Alex Jones yesterday. Let's just listen to 60 seconds of it.
I've never been a big supporter of just endlessly supplying Ukraine with weapons and money. So for him to withdraw that, it's kind of like, okay, we're on board. But what he's doing that for is leverage in the Iran war. It's just weird. It's weird. It makes me feel transgender.
I'm not obsessed with Jews, and I'm sick of Jews being at the center of my life and the Middle East being the center of my life. It's not like I'm even against you. I'm just sick of it constantly being about you. Do you understand that? But again, don't you get Jew fatigue?
Yeah.
Like it's just Jew from every side. The Jews, the anti-Jews, like,
So it was an interesting interview with that guy, if anybody's interested. This one says NASA Artemis 2 astronauts getting ready to putting on their space gear. Let's hope they take more care than this astronaut did out on the International Space Station at one time. And it's showing, So, yeah, sure it is. This is a photo from outside the space station, but look at the shoes. They're on the wrong feet.
Let's go straight back to Cape Canaveral.
And this was before. This is current. This was the 4 astronauts that are now headed to the moon. or to go around the moon. This is them getting prepped up.
Let's go straight back to Cape Canaveral, and the final touches are being put in place, including the astronauts getting prepared, final preparations, getting dressed, getting their kit sorted out. 4 astronauts, Victor Glover, Jeremy Hansen, Reed Wiseman, and Christina Koch, preparing to take part in the first mission.
Christina Koch is in a dick-shaped rocket headed around the moon on April Fool's Day. The aliens are going to abduct her and force her to have sex like the alien human breeding program here on Earth.
To the moon's orbit, I think we should say. It's not landing on the moon, but certainly a mission to the moon's orbit in more than 50 years with a crew. It's due to launch in to 2324 BST, 1824 local time from Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral. Let's go straight back to Cape Canaveral, and the final touches are being put in place, including the astronauts getting prepared, final preparations, getting dressed, getting their kit sorted out. 4 astronauts, Victor Glover, Jeremy Hansen, Reed Wiseman, and Christina Koch, preparing to...
Sorry, I had to look it up. Yeah, Christina Koch, but it's spelled C-O or K-O-C-H. Reed Wiseman is the commander, Victor Glover is the pilot, Christina Koch, mission specialist, and Jeremy Hansen, mission specialist. Glover will be the first black astronaut to go on a lunar mission, Koch the first woman, and Hansen the first Canadian. First. It sounds like a DEI crew to me. Not anything to do with somebody being black. Just from the looks of those people, they just look DEI to me. The whole thing looks just like kabuki theater, in my opinion. Let's see here. What else do we got? But yeah, no, they're on their way to the moon, guys. So wrap around the moon. We listened to that one. Again, massive stories coming out about aliens and humans having sex with each other forcibly by, just black budget military programs. And lots of people are talking about in the government. We got Anna Paulina, Representative Burchett, and Matt Gaetz, and the list goes on. What's Trump saying here?
Shortly, very shortly, we're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are on shortly, very shortly.
So is that what we are as a country? We're going to bomb the Iranians back to the Stone Age where they belong? Why is that? Why do they belong in the Stone Ages? Those people. I don't understand that. Did they do something wrong to warrant to go back to the Stone Ages? What are you talking about? That makes no sense. I think Koch, pronounced Koch, is a German last name. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't like that comment at all from Trump. Back to the Stone Ages where they belong. That doesn't make any sense to me. I thought we're supposed to be like the leaders of the free world. The way Trump talks about people that die and this kind of stuff, it's just unacceptable. Not a fan. This interview was a few weeks ago, but it's relevant, because of the moon and we're all kind of feeling the same way. Do we believe it? Do we not believe it? To each their own. But
do you think we landed on the moon? I have a lot of thoughts on it that I never get into. I mean, you squirmed the way I do and asked. I mean, I went down this once because it's my job, right? And I found it really distressing, so I just kind of gave up. But I did, I talk, you never know who's telling you the truth about anything, right? But I talk to people, I sort of do trust. Like, no, it's not. But then I thought, whatever. I don't. There are a lot. I spend my life looking into things and trying to figure out what's real and what's not. And I do think in midlife you realize, having done this for so many years, that like some things you're not going to know,
right?
And I think you can go crazy because I've pushed to the edge of it myself, trying to figure out what's right, what's true, what actually happened, what reality is. But I think it's unattainable on certain stories. This may be one of them. I will say, we accidentally taped over the original footage because we ran out of Betamax.
Yeah.
And the schematic drawings of the spacecraft are like missing and also it's like
telemetry data is gone.
Yeah, telemetry data is gone. It's like, stop.
They can't replicate the technology.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So that would I'll say this, if it was faked, of course can't prove that. Then it's just one more instance of the US government having to backfill, a 57-year-old lie. And it's done that a lot. It certainly did it with the murder of John F. Kennedy. And it's just, you tell a lie and it just kind of doesn't go away because you have to continually make up new lies in order to cover, the lie, the original lie. So you'd hate to think that's real.
That's the struggle with the moon landing question, I think, because right. It wasn't a gotcha question, because when I'm asked that all the time and I do the same thing, I kind of go, A, I wish you didn't ask me that. B, I'm not sure. I think we did. I think something was found up there, which is why we didn't go back. And for me, it all hinges on Edgar Mitchell, because I trust and believe him. And if he says he walked on the moon, then I believe him. But I think something was found up there that maybe the government didn't want us to find.
Yeah. And, I think we're going to have some interesting stories come out of this one. They sponsor Terror Around the World. I think that is wrong. Yeah. What's going to happen is they're going to try to wrap this up. Trump said last night, a few more weeks. And then Turkey's next. They're going to go into Turkey. And they're going to, and first it was Venezuela. I called that one. Then it was Iran, Greenland, Cuba, and now Turkey's next. So yesterday he said his father was born in Germany when he was born in the Bronx. They have the birth certificate for verification. He lied about 3 times for some reason. Sent a message that he's German, like someone else with no names mentioned that he's basically a puppet. Yeah. The guy talks to a fish. Yeah, I think I have seen that. It's out of his control what he's doing, but he has no choice. He's not the one in charge. He did a really intriguing podcast interview with the Knights Templar Grand Master a couple months. Oh, nice. Daniel Berry, hello. ALV, you said the same thing about Venezuela, and you may have said the same thing about Iran, but I never really said that about Iran. So mark my words that I 100% guarantee you. I'm not saying that we're gonna actually bomb or boots on the ground Turkey, but we're 100. That's 100% going to be in the conversation coming up. You mark my words on that one. Turkey's next, and it's a bigger problem than Iran, as far as like military. Turkey's got the biggest military in that area, as far as like people. The sky was blood red in Australia. We are approaching Judgment Day. It's all foretold. A blood red sky. Yeah, I can't disagree with that. Wild times, guys. Wild times. Robert De Niro.
People don't like him for a reason. of all the terrible things he's done. If he did nice things, and he had the chance, he became president to do nice things, not hateful, retribution, not just outright mean things. If he did nice things, people would love him. But he's got a problem. He's damaged. People who.
Yeah. I think a little over a year into this presidency, we still have time to turn it around. Trump has time to, he needs to start dropping them checks for one thing. Worry about it. Worry about this country. I don't know. De Niro is the king of hate. Yes, he is I don't know what to believe anymore. It seems like both parties are directing the narrative to keep the people divided. Everyone needs to start discussing good topics and bring back respect for each other. Yeah, I can agree with that. See no evil. It's just our world is so corrupt. Our government is so corrupt. We need to flush it down the toilet. Who put this out? Donald Trump Jr. I don't trust anything these guys say anymore.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's just fascinating to watch, It just none of it makes any sense. Yeah. It is. It's a shame that what De Niro did. We were going to the moon. Why are we going to the moon? What is the value in it? I have never been a space guy. Well, I think I don't know, AOB. This is not a moon landing. This is wrapping around the moon. They're going to go. This is the farthest that mankind has ever traveled, because they're actually going to go to the dark side of the moon. Wrap. It's like a 10-day trip, and then they have Artemis 3. I believe is, I think they have Artemis 3. I think there's 2 more scheduled flights that they're going to land on the moon. As far as why, like Elon, where's Elon Musk? Isn't he supposed to be like, oh, we're going to inhabit Mars and mankind is going to expand in the universe? He's like, is he even involved in this? It's a good question I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. But all I can say, I just have my prediction that I said earlier. Terrorist attack week's coming up. We launched to the wrap around the moon on April Fool's Day. We have hypersonic missiles being shot at each other with Iran and us. World War III, basically. Something's going to happen up there. I think that once they go around to the other side of the moon, we're going to lose communication with them. And then they're going to somehow come back raped by aliens, like a few days later. They're going to come back and saying they were like, forcibly raped by aliens or something like that. Okay, Suzanne, thank you for watching. Have a great day. I'm with the mindset of I want whoever is in the office to be successful and not be sabotaged by the other party to fail. Well, I don't think it's about the other party, see no evil. It's about the people that really run the government, the Mormons, the Freemasons, the secret societies, the deep state. They come in and they're the ones that sabotage the president, and it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or a Republican, they sabotage all the presidents, They got many ways of doing it too. You don't even have to be a pedophile. Like most of them are pedophiles these days, it looks like, but you don't even have to be a pedophile to be, anybody can be controlled. especially at that level. Stu Peters breaks down the lapel mic. There's no blood here, but this does show the impact of Charlie being shot. So trigger warning, FYI, viewer discretion advised. Talking about the lapel mic.
An exit wound? Yeah, it is. Check the trajectory of the round that was deployed from that lavalier lapel mic. That went directly from Charlie Kirk's lapel. That went directly from underneath Charlie Kirk's white t-shirt up through his neck and created the exit wound that we told you was an exit wound immediately when we saw that exit wound. First we had exploding pagers. Now we have exploding mics. Do you remember the vector analysis from John Bray? That proves that all of the activity came from the mic that Charlie Kirk was wearing. And we have video now from Destiny that shows the handoff of this remote detonator.
Yeah, and we've watched that a million times. So I'm going to move on. I'm running out of time here. The Orion spacecraft separated from the upper stage rocket.
Yeah, we have good separation, good motion. We are ATP go.
Good motion, everything except for your shitty camera because it's all fake. We'll skip that one. We'll skip that one. Fake footage. Oh, yeah. Donald Trump, Erica Kirk was in attendance yesterday, and he tells her that she should sue Drewski for the parody that he made.
A thing called Happy Easter. Do we have that? Everyone happy? Anybody that doesn't want, hello, darling. Wow, this is a good table. I like that table. You're doing well, right? Okay. I think you should sue him, but, you know, I told her, you ought to sue some of these. They're so jealous of Erica. I said, you ought to sue their, I can say you're not allowed to say this. You have to be nicer. Sue their ass off.
Sue their ass off. Yeah, forget the fact that it's a complete and utter lie that a 30-06 killed Charlie Kirk. And that obviously that all of these people are lying. But yeah, Trump will say nothing about that and tell her to sue their ass off for the parody video. I mean, the guy is a joke. Our government is a joke, and there is no hope. You know, all we can do is take care of ourselves. Don't rely on the government for anything. And don't get too big for your britches because they will kill you. I guess that is the final statement of the day. Tommy's on, so I'm going to end the show. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Happy Easter coming up. I'm going to be back in the kitchen, finish up what I got to do, and head out for the day. It's not in the best interest of the constituents to be purposely targeted, the people to be purposely targeted, the people to fail. Yes. All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out, and I'll see you over at Tommy's. Have a great day.